There is no division in between big business and big government. The corporations are able to use the iron fist known as government to project their ideas and enforce their rules. Corporations have more money than governments, and corporations profit off of the decisions of governments. The revolving door proves to us that there is no difference in either side. It's the same players. You came here for the truth, so let me unveil that for you. Today we're going to look at the revolving door, a very important topic. And I want to begin with the interconnectedness of companies through shared board members. Look at this very, very interactive type of map that you can see individuals, companies, all interconnected together. I'll show you several examples of this today. And this, to me, is very telling. It's very visual, and we can see it for ourselves. When a company like McDonald's and Kraft and other manufacturers, Pepsi and so on, they have the same board members, all interconnected with government. And you may have individuals for these major institutions that work in the highest positions of power in the government. We are talking about the absolute highest. We're talking about the agriculture department, the food safety department, health safety, and so on. When all of them are then alumni of these corporations, we have to start raising some eyebrows and asking some questions. When somebody from JP Morgan and Goldman Sachs start working for the regulators, we've got a big problem on our hands, and that is not being addressed. In this example here, it's just showing us a few things. Names I've already talked about: Kraft, McDonald's, and Pepsi. But you also see the Visas, Walmart's, Coca-Cola, and Wells Fargo, and Alphabet, and Amazon, and so on. Every institution has these individuals that are connected in one way or another to other corporations that they relate to, but more importantly, with the government. A lot of people don't understand the connections, and it's important to see them visually. That's why I'm bringing this to you today. Board member overlap, the Dow Jones top 30. Look at this, where you have all of these different mega corporations that are Apple and McDonald's and GE and so on. They're all the same group of people. You see different logos, IBM. You see American Express. They're all the same. They're all the same. Yes, I realize they may be completely different companies. Yes, I realize there might only be a few individuals, but their end goal is always going to be the same. And most importantly, you as the individual, you do not have the freedom you think you do have when corporations run the government. This is an excellent website that I've talked about before, and I'll continue to promote it. OpenSecretsorg, Center for Responsive Politics. You're going to see a lot of stuff on this website, but one of them is the revolving door. So through this particular page in their website, you can actually go through different sections and break it down how you want to see it. Former members, congressional staffers, current congressional staffers, lobbying firms, organizations, administrations, and so on. And you can actually go through, you can search by a person if you're interested, or you can go and actually click on some of these to bring it up. And I may have done that already here. Organizations, for example, if I click on that, I can go through and see the different all-time donors, how much they've donated. In this case here, hundreds of millions of dollars. All right. Then you're looking further through this. You'll see top lobbying organizations, top contributors. And, if I decide to, for example, click on one of these, I might get some more results from that, where you can see it on the pie charts, they break down the numbers, they go through all of this. Top recipients really breaks it down there. And there's more to it than that. I mean, I can actually go through, click on an individual and see where they have spent their time before. That's very good to me because I'm going to look at people within the government today. I can see the companies they've all been with, the years that they were there. And of course, it happens to be very, very interconnected. And as a business, on the business side, of course, you'd want that, right? You would want somebody with experience. But we end up finding, unfortunately, they do little backdoor deals that never favor you and I and only enrich them. They only protect them. So you can just go through more of this, and as I'll show you here, you can see the different timelines that they have, how they all interconnect with each other. Okay, so that's OpenSecrets.org. I thought this was a great site, needed to show that to you. They also have some infographics here. One of them is talking about dark money. So you could see, I'm not going to go through it all, it's really long, but dark money, follow the shadow of dark money. Dark money refers to funding spent independently of campaigns to influence elections. Funds from anonymous donors flow through tax-exempt nonprofits, super PACs, and LLC. So if you were to scroll through, you would see some of this here. In the last 3 presidential elections, we have seen the dramatic growth in the reported dark money spending. This is going from 2004, 5.9 million, to 2012, over 300 million. So there's a massive, massive jump in, first of all, the amount of money that's being put into this, but also the ones going through the dark channels. So this is something that you should be paying attention to. Look where the money is going. As they say, follow the money. Very important stuff here, okay? So there's more that I want to get to, just a couple things. Another website, I don't know how to pronounce it, but the letters are GEKE, okay? And then that's .us. But if you just go to a search engine and type in GEKE, you're probably going to pull this up. And I really like the images that they have on this website. Really just so easy to tell. You look through here, whether we're looking at US Steel, General Dynamics, you can actually zoom in and see the individuals, what their role in the government was, what their role at that corporation was, and then their name is in the middle. So it's fantastic. It really just shows us here all these different companies, how interconnected they really are, where we have, you know, everything. There's lots of stuff on here. You're talking about political things and big oils in here, and there are many different types. In this case, they're calling it a Venn diagram, but either way you want to look at it, good things to look at, because you can easily be able to just tell, okay, I know what that person's from, I know what they're doing, I see the collusion there, that's what's happening, okay? This is the revolving door because they end up going back and forth. That's the worst part about it, where it's not as if, okay, now they took a nice little lucrative job at the government, they start getting offers back at those companies where they were at before, and even bigger salaries, bigger bonuses. So that's all for that one website. You can see that if you're interested. And then last but not least, right from McGill's own website, the university, they have this diagram here along with a report that they did showing you the connections. This is just one thing, but there's all of these different types of graphs out there, or however, diagrams, I guess you want to call it. And this, to me, this is just irrefutable evidence. You can't deny it. It's not as if I'm saying, hey, you know, Pepsi and McDonald's, they have it in for the government, and they figured out a way in, and you know, they're making things happen for their own good, and yeah, it's a secret. Don't tell anybody. That's not what this is. I mean, you can physically, literally see what goes on. You can determine that by seeing all the connections and all these corporations, and you don't have to make a guess about it. You can see that. So these are some of the ways. I've done another video about this before in the playlist that I have, how to and solutions, but I wanted to just bring this information to you. I'm going to end it there. If you found the video informative, please give me a thumbs up. That's all I wanted to talk about. You know, if you really want the financial education you were not taught in schools, well, you need to read these 2 books. Okay, they've got everything you need to know. They've got everything from A to Z. Check them out. Link is in the description. If you're more interested in the audiobook version, you can get that at themoneygps.com. OpenSecretsorg.com.